All right, my financially curious friends. Today, we're diving into something that might just blow your mind: how people from China are quietly building millionaire level wealth while making totally average incomes. No secret crypto wallet, no stock picking wizardry, no side hustle empire selling feet pics to strangers, just smart, intentional money moves that most of us have never even heard of. You see, while a lot of people in the US are saving, well, approximately $5 and a half eaten granola bar, people from China are out here stashing away a whopping 46% of their income. That's not a flex. That's just considered normal over there. Meanwhile, we're over here financing $12 burritos and thinking about upgrading to the newest iPhone because the camera is 3% sharper this time. Now, to be fair, a lot of this isn't really your fault. In America, we're basically raised on a diet of treating yourself and YOLO culture, which might be great for our serotonin, but not so much for our bank accounts. So today, we're going to break down exactly how Chinese culture, habits, and straight up money moves are helping ordinary people reach millionaire status without a six-figure salary or a finance degree. By the end of this, you'll have real, rock-solid, culturally inspired saving habits that you can start using right now to build real wealth, even if your paycheck still thinks it's back in 2015. Let's get into it. All right, let's kick this off with what's probably the biggest reason why so many people from China are able to build serious wealth on average salaries. They treat saving like it's a life skill, not a side quest. In China, saving money isn't just something you try to do when there's a little left over. It's a cultural expectation. It's baked into family values. It's basically part of the national identity, kind of like tea and dumplings. Meanwhile, in the West, most of us get taught the exact opposite. Like, why save when Klarna lets you buy now and pay later? Or why budget when the new iPhone basically pays for itself with the vibes? But in Chinese households, it's normal, like really normal, for parents to raise their kids to think about saving from a super young age. Not in a boring, restrictive way either. More like, hey, this is what freedom looks like. A lot of it comes down to high savings rates. Like I mentioned earlier, the average Chinese household saves nearly half their income, and they do it before any spending actually happens, not after. It's not a save what's left situation. It's a spend what's left after you save situation. That's called paying yourself first, and it's one of the most powerful financial habits on the planet. And no, it doesn't mean you have to live off of instant noodles in the dark. It means setting a savings amount every month, treating it like a non-negotiable bill, and moving it out of your checking account before you even get to notice that it's there. It's automatic, it's boring, it's borderline un-American, but it really does work. So if you want to build wealth like the quiet millionaires do, you need to start saving like it's not optional. Now, I want to shift focus to something you need to avoid, so you could actually make this happen even easier. Let's talk about one of the biggest financial traps that keeps people broke: trying to look rich instead of actually being rich. In a lot of Western culture, wealth is performative. If you get a raise, you start to think that you deserve a luxury car. If you're doing well, you post your first-class flight, your designer bag, your new kitchen backsplash that somehow costs more than a used Honda. But here's the thing. In many parts of Chinese culture, that kind of flashy spending, it's actually seen as kind of tacky. And it's something that doesn't really exist. Frugality is respected. Modesty is admired. And looking rich is never the goal. Being financially stable is, quietly and privately. Kind of like a ninja with a stock portfolio. It's why you see millionaires in China wearing simple clothes, driving practical cars, and not Instagramming their brunches. Because let's be honest, no one needs to see another picture of overpriced avocado toast. This mindset really is powerful because it frees people from status spending, the urge to upgrade your lifestyle to impress people who probably don't even really like you. And the result? More money stays in your account, more cash goes towards investments, more freedom, fewer flexes. Meanwhile, in the West, we get caught in a loop. You start making more money, so you start spending more money to match your new income. That's called lifestyle creep, and it's the enemy of long-term wealth. The takeaway here: resist the urge to be a show-off. You're not in a rap video. Live below your means, save, and invest the difference. And remember, real wealth will never need to be broadcasted because it shows up in your bank account, not your outfit. Okay, time to talk about one of the most underrated wealth hacks that Chinese culture absolutely nails: the family-first, multi-generational mindset. In a lot of Western culture, it's pretty common that the second you turn 18, it's like, congrats, you're legally an adult. Here's a lifetime of student debt and a microwave from Target. Good luck. But in many Chinese households, the family works together as a financial unit. But what does this actually mean? Well, parents help kids, and then kids help parents. Everyone's success is shared. Everyone contributes. It's basically like having a real-time team of financial Avengers, minus the costumes. But here's where it gets crazy smart. Instead of every person in the family taking on their own massive bills, think rent, cars, tuition, and weddings. Families combine resources to avoid all unnecessary debt. It's why many young adults in China live with their parents well into their 20s or even 30s. Not because they're lazy, but because they're strategic. That time spent living at home is used to save aggressively, invest early on, and avoid blowing half their paycheck on a 400 square foot studio apartment with urban charm, aka exposed pipes and a weird smell. It's also not uncommon at all for parents to help with down payments or even co-own property with their kids, which is a fast track to real estate that most people in the West can't even imagine. And while yes, I'm not gonna lie, living with your parents may not sound so glamorous, but neither does being broke and alone with 5 roommates and a pet lizard you didn't ask for. The lesson here? If you're lucky enough to have family support, don't treat it like financial failure. Treat it like a financial cheat code. And if you're in a position to be that support one day, lean into it because long-term wealth isn't just built on individual effort. All right, let's talk about debt. And more specifically, how people from China treat it like it's a contagious disease. And honestly, they might be onto something. In Western culture, debt is basically just a part of life. Need a car? Finance it. Want to go to college? Take out $100K and figure it out later. Going on vacation? Swipe now, panic later. But in Chinese culture, debt is avoided like the plague. It is not a casual tool. It is not a lifestyle. It's a last resort. There's a cultural emphasis on saving first and spending later. If you can't afford it now, you wait. And I know, in a world that's built on instant gratification and Amazon Prime, that sounds like ancient wisdom from a time before dopamine. But it's powerful because when you avoid debt, you avoid interest. You avoid monthly payments. You avoid living your life for Visa and MasterCard. And all of this starts to free up your cash to do something way more exciting, like grow. In fact, one of the biggest wealth killers in your 20s and 30s is carrying unnecessary, high-interest debt. That $3,000 balance on your credit card, it's not just sitting there politely. It's compounding against you like some kind of evil reverse investment. Meanwhile, people from China get to skip all that. They save up, they buy in cash, they don't lease cars to impress coworkers or finance designer bags for likes online. Now, to be clear, not all debt is bad debt. A mortgage on an appreciating property? Sure. A low-interest student loan for a high-paying degree? Maybe. But the mindset matters. Debt equals risk, pressure, and reduced freedom. And freedom is what this whole wealth-building game is about. So if you really want to adopt that millionaire mindset, start thinking twice before financing things that won't make you money back. All right, now, here's something most people in their 20s and 30s don't want to hear, which is also exactly why wealthy people end up wishing they knew it sooner. Long-term thinking is the real cheat code to wealth. In the West, we live in a world of quick hits, fast fashion, and 2-day shipping. Swipe, scroll, snack, repeat. If something takes longer than 5 minutes, we're like, ugh, this takes forever. But in Chinese culture, patience is practically a core value, especially when it comes to money. There's a strong cultural focus on long-term planning, not just for yourself, but for your future kids, grandkids, and generations to come. Meanwhile, most of us can barely plan past Friday night. So what does long-term thinking actually look like? It looks like investing early, not perfectly, buying modest homes and paying it off in 15 years. Living below your means so your future self can ball out, not just your current one. People from China understand this. They delay gratification not because they're boring, but because they know the payoff is massive. We're talking about compound interest, real estate appreciation, and actual financial freedom. Not just the kind where you order guac without checking the price. And here's the kicker. This mindset gives you the ultimate advantage because most people around you won't do it. They'll trade tomorrow's freedom for today's dopamine rush. But not you, because now you know the secret. Wealth isn't just built by moving fast. It's built by moving consistently in the right direction over time. So invest early, think big, and delay the flex. All right, my future millionaires, let's wrap this up. If you've been wondering how people from China turn average incomes into massive wealth, the answer isn't some get-rich-quick scheme or some top-secret stock pick whispered in an alleyway. They save aggressively, spend intentionally, avoid debt like it's radioactive, lean on family, and think decades ahead. It's not flashy, it's not sexy, it definitely won't get you 10,000 likes on Instagram, but it will get you something way better. Freedom, options, peace of mind. And if we're being honest, those are way more valuable than a luxury car and a pile of credit card bills. Let's run it back real quick. Save first, spend what's left, not the other way around. Make saving a habit, not a hope. Don't flex, invest. Because impressing strangers gets pretty expensive, but growing wealth doesn't. Treat your family like your financial team, because wealth multiplies faster when you're not doing it alone. And remember that taking debt is the equivalent of delaying freedom. Avoid it unless it helps you build, not bury. And lastly, wealth isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, with compound interest cheering you on. The truth? You don't need to be a genius or born rich or work 100 hours a week. You just need to think differently, save intentionally, and take small, boring steps that snowball into life-changing results. So if you made it to the end of this video, let me know in the comments which one of these habits are you starting first. And as always, like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because I've got more money wisdom coming your way. Go save like a millionaire, even if you're still on a ramen budget.